Okay, so as you see right here, this is a 3 times x. So we're going to have to solve for this inequality. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So we will be dividing 3 to both sides. These 3's will reduce, and you're going to get x is greater than or equal to 7. So now we solve the inequality. So we did that. Now we have to graph it. Let's make a quick non-fancy graph. You put 0 in the middle, and we know that 7 is on the right side of that, so we just say 7 is here. Something that you might forgot is that if you have the greater than or less than symbol, that means you have a closed circle, which means that's part of the answer, aka also brackets. And if you have greater than and less than, that's an open circle, which means parentheses. Since this has an equal sign on the inequality of your equation, that means this is going to be a filled-in circle, which means that 7 is part of your answer. And if you notice right here, all the numbers that are greater than x are going to be to the right side of that. And the last thing we need to do is our domain. What I need you to understand is if it's pointing to the right side, it means it keeps going and going. That means it's going to positive infinity. So when you're doing domain, it's always from the left to the right. So we started at 7 with a bracket, and we go all the way to infinity. So our domain is going to be from 7 to infinity. Infinities right here never have brackets. They always have parentheses. So for this problem, the opposite of positive 5 is going to be negative 5. So we subtract 5 from both sides. We have x is less than 13 minus 5 is 8. So that's our answer for the inequality. We're going to graph it very quick. Put a 0 in the middle. We know positive 8's on the right side. Since it doesn't have an equal sign, we know it's going to be an open circle. And it says x is less than 8. So all the numbers that are less than 8 are going to go to the left side. Less means left. Greater means right side. And that's going to negative infinity. So when we go to do our domain, again, it's from the left side to the right side. So we started from negative infinity to 8. So from negative infinity to 8. So for this one, it's going to be a 2-step problem. So the first thing we need to do is get rid of the number that's being added or subtracted. So the opposite of positive 4 is going to be minus 4. So we're going to subtract 4 from both sides, just like we did for equations. You're going to bring down your 5x less than 19 minus 4 is going to be 15. Then this is being multiplied, so the opposite of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide both sides by 5. And we're going to have x. So that's that answer. Then we're going to, on the number line, we have 3's right here. So we have a circle there. And there is no equal sign here. So we know it's an open circle. And this is x is less than 3. All the numbers that are less than 3 are going to be on the left side, so going this way. So we're going to have something that looks like this to negative infinity. That means our domain is going to be from the left to the right. So from negative infinity to 3. So negative infinity to 3. And 3 is going to have parentheses because it did not have a filled-in circle. Now for this one that you guys were doing in class, so I suggest you pause the video and then try this one by yourself and then start it to check your answer. So we're going to subtract the 4 from both sides. 7y is greater than or equal to negative 14. You divide both sides by 7 and you should get negative 2. So hopefully you got negative 2 when you tried it by yourself. And you're going to graph that. Negative 2 is right here. Since it has an equal sign, you know it's going to be filled in and it's going to be part of the answer. And it's all the y's that are y's greater. So this means greater. All the numbers that are greater than negative 2 are going to be to the right side. So it's going to positive infinity. That means your domain is going to be from negative 2 to positive infinity. So for this problem, we have to be very careful because this has a negative 6 right here, or because this variable has a negative, we're going to have to switch the inequality symbol. And you're going to see what happens in a second. So first thing, we're going to get rid of that positive 3. So the opposite of positive 3 is negative 3. Subtract 3 from both sides. Those are going to reduce, go away. So we have negative 6y is greater than 20. You're going to divide both sides by a negative 6. So if you divide both sides by a negative, what happens is this inequality symbol right here is going to flip. So now instead of being greater than, it's going to be less than. So this is going to go away, and you're going to have y, and you're going to switch the inequality symbol, and you're going to reduce this. So that is going to become 10 thirds. 10 thirds. So you put 0 here, and we know 10 thirds is somewhere over here. And we know it's an open circle, and its y is less than. All the numbers that are less than are on the left side, so from negative infinity. So our domain is going to be from negative infinity to negative 10 thirds. The only difference this example has from the one, if your variable or your number in front of your variable is negative, you're going to have to divide both sides by a negative number, which means that this is going to switch. Make sure you pay attention to that because that's the reason most students get it wrong.